Yeah, welcome back to my class again today. Now, in the last class, we did dynamic binding. And I told you I'm going to show you doc typing. Now, I told you the difference between dynamic binding and doc typing. In dynamic binding, you are um, uh, resolving the method based on the type of the object, right? But in doc typing, you are actually going to resolve the method if it is available in the class, right? So today we are going to demonstrate that. I told you in the last class, you are giving an appointment to somebody because he's competent, not because he is from the area that it is their turn, right? That is the meaning of doc typing. So let's look at it. Now we are looking at doc, right? Typing. Now, if it walks like a dog, it quacks like a dog, then it must be a dog. That is the concept that we are looking at here. So let's define the same class that we use in the dynamic binding, and then let's see. Okay, so I say class. Now, what I want to demonstrate now, let's take the biblical judgment of the children of Israel in Egypt, right? Let's write a class to work that concept out, where the angel came and then was doing all those things to the Egyptians and then allowing the Israelites to go free. So let's see how that works. So class. So we name a class Egypt, right? We call this Egypt, and then we have this as our parent class, and then inside this parent class we'll define um, a method. We call it security, right? Now we call this method security, and self, right? And then inside this method we'll say print um, protect the land, right? That is the first method. So security, protect the land. So inside this class, we don't have the blood method. So we'll create another class and we'll call it Israel, right? And then the parent is Egypt. So meaning it was inside Egypt, right? Now inside this we have death, right? And then we have blood, and then we have self. So inside it we say print um, do not enter the house, right? So we'll have this here. Then we create another class again. We call this one Egypt 1, right? Egypt 1. Now in this one too, the parent class is Egypt, still inside Egypt. And then in this one we have death, and then we have blood also inside, self. Then in this one we'll say print, right? Um, symbol of salvation. So, symbol of salvation. So, do not enter. Right? So, symbol of salvation. So, do not enter. Now, we have three classes. Class Egypt, and in this class, there is no blood. Then, in this class Israel, there is blood method. In this class Egypt, there is also blood method. Now, we are going to create um, this doc typing, right? So we are going to define another method. So we are going to define another method. You can see this method is not inside the class. It's standing alone like this. So that is the doc typing that we want to do, right? So it's standing alone. It's not inside the class. So define, then we'll call this one salvation, right? Salvation. Now, what we want to do is that, an angel was sent, right? So the angel that was sent, we are going to put the angel here, right? Now, once you create this method, and this method is called, you will go in. What are you going to do? You will now come here and say angel, right? Dot Lord. Now, if I continue, it's not going to, you might not be able to see it. So let's just leave it here like this. Now I've created three classes, one, two, three. This is the parent class. These are the children classes. So this is a child class for this. This is a child class for this. Now inside this class, there is no blood method. Inside this class, there is blood method. Inside this class, there is blood method. Now I've defined my doc type in here. So now this salvation, which is a method, is expecting angel, which is just this place I can call it self. It's just like this, just like this, just like this. So I can give this place self, but I want to give it angel, right? Now I'm going in and using that angel to call the blood function. Now I told you. So the calling, the accessing of the class, right, will be determined by if it has blood in it. That means you are appointing somebody because he's competent. So not because of the class type. It is because it has blood in it, the blood method in it, not because of the type. In dynamic binding, it was because of the type that the object has that determines which of the method is going to be called. But in this case now, we are accessing the class if it has this blood in it. So what am I going to do now? I'm going to use the same method. So I will come here. So this is my class. So this is my class. Okay. So here now, what I will simply do here is I am going to declare the same variable that I did before in the last class. So I will just simply say, mm, I'll say locations. I will declare a variable locations, right? And then I will create a list data structure. So yeah, then I'll bring in all of them, all my classes. So in this one, I will say Egypt, right? And then I'll Egypt class, Israel class, right? Israel class. And then the last one is Egypt 1. Egypt 1. Egypt 1 class. Then I'll close it. Now I'm going to use Now I'm going to use a for loop to iterate them, right? So this is a variable, which is the data structure, the list data structure that is holding this, and holding this. Now, I'm going to use a for loop to create an object that will access them. So I will say for, right? I will come here and I will say for, right? And then I will use this angel for angel, right? In locations, go in, right? For angels in location, go in. Now, I'm going to use an if statement to check first and foremost. So I will use an if statement to check if the class has blood method first before I will call it. So to do that, I will now say if I will call another method has attribute. This has attribute is a function that I'm calling to. Now, what am I doing with this function? I am saying that before you access any class, check if that class has a blood method. So if has attribute, then because whatever I'm going to pick from here will be given to this angel, right? So has, then I'll say angel, right? Which is this blood. Now, so what it's going to do is it's going to check if what I copy from this location, which is, let's say this Egypt, I copy this Egypt into this place, then it will check. Now, this is a built-in function inside the Python library, has attribute. So it will check if what is inside this place, if it has a method that is blood, then if it has that method that is blood, it will now come in and call this doc method, which is what? Salvation. So it will come in and call this one. This. It will call salvation angel. So it will come in and call this. Else, print enter the house. Okay. So this is it. Just take your time to understand what I am going to explain again. Now, let me quickly just run through it. So I created three classes, one, two, three. This is the parent class, child class, another child class. Now, this parent class does not have blood method. This child class has blood method. This child class has blood method. So what am I saying? I am sending the angel. If you see blood at the door of the house, don't enter. So in this one, there is no blood. It has a method, security, and what is inside it protects the land. Isn't that so? Now it comes to Israel. He's seeing blood in it. When he sees this blood, do not enter the house. That is what it is. Now, if an Egyptian also was informed and then decided to use blood too at the doorpost. When he gets there, that is for this Egypt, he sees blood. Now, symbol of salvation, do not enter. So he's not going to enter, assuming. So this class has blood, this class has blood. Now I am creating a doc typing. So this is a method that I've created here now. This is also standalone. It's not in any of these classes, it's standalone. So what is the instruction? This is the doc typing method. It comes in and then angel.blood. So this is the method that has been written. So based on this method, you are calling, accessing that class based on the availability of this method. That is what this one is standing alone doing. Now you come here. I create, what do you have? I create a variable, which is a list variable, using holding these classes, the first class, second class, and the third class. Now I'm going to use a for loop to iterate it. Like I told you in my last class, if I don't want to do this, it means that I will have to instantiate each of these classes and then before I call. But I want to iterate them at once. So I want to just run my program and to check. So it's to go and check, go and check, go and check. So I will use a for loop. Now, I'm creating a temporary holder, which is what? The angel. Now I come to these locations. I copy this Egypt to this. Then it will go in. It will now check, does this Egypt, does it have blood method? If it has blood method, then it's going to call this method. It will go in and call this method. And what would this method be? So Egypt has been given to angel. Then you go in and you check. Then this Egypt, which is not Egypt 1, Egypt, it will check it. It doesn't have blood method. Because it doesn't have blood method, it will not enter into this if. It will come here and it will say, enter the house. So the angel will enter the house. Now, it will call Israel and give Israel to this place. Then it will come in and check. Does Israel have blood method? Yes. It will come in and it will call this method. When it calls this method, angel.blood method is calling that one. So when it calls it, it's going to do not enter the house. Then it will repeat for Egypt 1. It will copy Egypt 1 into angel. Then it will come in. It will check that Egypt 1. Does it have blood method? Yes, it has blood method. Then it will go in. When it goes in, it will call this one. When it calls this one will go in and it say angel.blood. So for that one, it's going to print out symbol of salvation. So do not enter. That is what it's going to do. So now because this one has blood method and this one has blood method, it is presumed that they are the same. So it means you can use this or you can use this interchangeably, right? If it quacks like a dog, it moves like a dog, automatically it is a dog. That is the concept of this dog typing. So that is what I want to show you in this class. So this one, it will enter. This one, it will not enter. This one, it will not enter. So let's go to PyCharm and let me quickly demonstrate this script for you to see. Okay, so this is a PyCharm. Now let's create another one. I will call it doctyping.py. Okay, so we'll create a class, Egypt, and then inside it we'll define security. I will say print protect the land, right? Then we'll create another class, we'll call it Israel, and then is the child of Egypt. And here we'll define blood method, and then we go in and we'll say print do not enter the house. Then we come here, we'll create another class, Egypt 1, who is also the child of Egypt. Then we create blood method. Here we print symbol of salvation. So do not enter. Now we've created that. So let's create our doc method. Define salvation and then give angel to it. And now say angel dot blood. We are calling the blood function. All right, so we've created our classes and we'll define this our doc typing method. Now let's create the variable, the list variable. So we'll call it locations. And then, so the first one is Egypt. Second one is Israel. The third one is Egypt 1. Okay. Now we are going to use a for loop to iterate them. For angel in locations, right? You will go in. First, we have to check if it contains blood. So if has attribute so angel comma blood, go in and call salvation angel, else print enter the house. All right, so now I'm going to run it and then you will see what it's going to print out. So in this one, it will print out for the first one, which is Egypt. This one is going to print out enter the house. This one, it will print out do not enter the house. This one, it will print out symbol of salvation, so do not enter. So let's run the program. You see, the first one is enter the house. The second one is do not enter the house. The third one is symbol of salvation, so do not enter. That is what I want to show you. So you are calling the method based on its availability in the class. Because this class doesn't have the blood method, that is why you are going to enter. So that is what I want to demonstrate to you in this class. So if you enjoyed the class, do not forget to subscribe if you have not subscribed. And also, please don't forget to click on the like button. Use that to encourage me. And if you have not followed me on my Facebook page, please endeavor to do so. So in the next class, I'm going to show you abstraction. And then the upper class, we are going to look at encapsulation. And then we'll be done with the principles. So till we see in the next class. Bye-bye.